All right, BBN, welcome to another episode of the right side of Kentucky sports. Hopefully everybody listened to the first half of Blitz the Bookie. If you didn't, as soon as we get done here, go find the first half of Blitz the Bookie. It was another great episode this week. Talked about the college football playoffs that's coming up this weekend and another big NFL weekend as well. So make sure you check that out, guys. The big talk right now is basketball. The Cats finally got a fairly good win, better than we've been getting the rest of the season against Indiana, and now we have a big matchup this weekend against St. John's and Ricky P. So I'm sure most of this episode is going to be geared towards the basketball. But before we jump into that, guys, Will Stein, it looks like he's putting his staff together. We got a GM, right?
Yes, that was announced today. And he has like a co-GM too.
Yeah, so we got somebody that's going to come in and fill that position for the first time, right? This is the first time we've ever had a GM, right?
Yeah, I think like Eddie Gran had like a small role is a small type of a GM. I don't know how much money or negotiating he did.
We've just got really kind of money the last couple of years. We were so far behind in NIL, it wasn't funny.
But I think this is a position that basically every school is going to have, or if they don't already have. So we got us a GM for the football, and we hired an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator since the last time we were on. I'll go ahead and speak my piece. And look, this is not my own info. This is something that I heard, but the offensive coordinator, it's Sloan, right?
Yeah.
From LSU, did not have a strong year last year. I don't know if that was due to him or if that was the Brian Kelly thing. Who knows? But he didn't call great plays. He had a Heisman candidate
at one point,
and what people thought was a national championship contending team, and they went to the dumps. And from what I'm also hearing, which is very surprising, Will Stein is not going to be calling the plays for the University of Kentucky.
I believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he actually said it, so I think that's how it's going to start. But it'll be just like any other head coach that if it doesn't go the way they want it to go, I'm sure he'll take the reins, which is what Elko did to the defensive coordinator that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, what's his name?
Bateman.
Jason Bateman?
No, he was on the Ozarks.
The good thing about that to look at is at least he was good enough for Texas A&M to hire.
Yeah,
and Elko's a defensive guy, so
I get that. But Elko did let him call those plays, I guess, the first year, and then ripped those duties away from him. If you want to call that a demotion, I would call it a demotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much that means. Do you all take anything from the fact that he got his play calling duties on the defensive side taken away? And what do you think about Will Stein not calling the plays, which we all predicted that he would?
I think as far as the defensive coordinator goes, Elko's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. So maybe it just wasn't up to his standard. But if you really think about it, it kind of ties over to what Will Stein not calling the plays. When you let somebody else kind of do it at first, it kind of gives you a cop-out, too. If things ain't going good, like, okay, I can go take it over now. If you don't put that guy in place and you're doing it from the get-go, well, then if things go bad, you don't got nobody to blame but yourself. But it almost gives you somebody to blame, in a sense, gives you a backdoor exit. Hey, I'll take it over. I shouldn't have hired this guy. Kind of gives you an angle there. So something to think about.
Does he have any connections to these two guys?
Look, they got coaching connections in the business. I really think Dan Lanning's looked at Stein as almost like a son, if you pay attention. And I think Dan Lanning's one of the smartest guys in the business.
He is.
I really do. And I think Dan Lanning probably helped him, at least advised him on helping him put together the staff. It seems like they have a great relationship. Will Stein being a young guy, I do think he's very smart, but that's just how I see it.
I mean, I'm going to trust the head coach at the beginning.
Me too.
Give me a series first before I give any judgment. But, I was really looking forward to Will Stein calling the plays. But if he trusts the guy, I guess I'm going to trust him too for now.
Yeah, it's just a weird decision to me that he's not going to be calling those plays. So what's his name? I'm terrible with these
Sloan?
names.
Sloan?
Sloan. To me, it is a question mark with not being able to produce with Garrett Nussmeier and an LSU team, which I know they fell apart, but that was a roster that people were picking to win the national championship.
No running game. You think Alabama can't run it? They can run it more than LSU. LSU could not run the
And
ball.
they could not.
I knew when they brought Barryon Brown.
You blame that any on the offensive coordinator?
I blame it on whoever picked out their players, because I knew when they went out and were proud to get Barryon Brown, I knew they were in trouble. Nothing against Barryon. Barryon's a good player when you get the ball in his hands, but they were talking about him at wide receiver. The skill to being good as a coach now is being a good evaluator of talent and motivating your team to play somehow for the community, because we live in this me society. Can you motivate them to play for whatever community you're in? Because sometimes I think giving effort anymore is optional.
And another thing, too, I want to emphasize, Anthony's brought it up a few weeks ago, kind of, ahead of the game, and they actually talked about it on the radio today. The Will Stein offense isn't the air raid.
No, they run the ball.
It's a balanced offense with some up-tempo series.
They run two tight ends. They wait for you to bring the extra guy.
Pay attention to Oregon. Pay attention to Oregon, guys.
So watch Oregon this week. That's going to be the offense that Kentucky runs.
I like it. I like it a lot. I love their offense. I just be honest. I love the idea of bringing in two tight ends, trying to get mismatches. When you adjust and bring in somebody else, we're going to hit you there. It's real simple. It's not hard, but it's hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pay too much attention this week against James Madison, because I'm sure Dan Lanning's not going to pull it all out. But in the next game, definitely pay attention to what they do, because that's what we're going to see. And I had some people in my live the last couple of nights that were saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get Will Stein. We're bringing back the air raid, the Hal Mummy
people
years."
Have no clue.
Yeah. And
they have no clue.
I said the same thing, guys. Y'all got to watch this. Make sure you pay attention to Oregon, because it's not exactly what they are. I know they score a lot of points sometimes.
Balance.
But I will say, don't expect to see this weekend against James Madison what we're going to do, because I think they're going to keep it very vanilla, like we talked about in the first half of Blitz the Bookie. Oregon can probably win this game by as many points as they like, so we'll see how that goes.
Let me, guys, before we get on to basketball, I want to go on just a quick rant. Because I called this shit. So when Mark Stoops was here, and look, Stoops gone. I'm happy about Stein. Y'all can tell I'm happy in my voice. I'm excited as can be. I really am. I like the guy, I like the hire, like everything about it. I got over Mark Stoops really quick. I respect the guy. I never got over Cal quick, but I got over Mark Stoops quick. But I sat here and told him on this show right here, you can go back and look several times. I said, they could, local radio, the big player in the state, they could help Mark Stoops out. They could help him out by just coming out and educating the fans a little bit that don't know no better. You could help him out. Not saying that you take up for him, but you can just help him out and explain to him what he's up against. And I said, you watch. As soon as all this is over, they're going to come out and they're going to talk about it and do it then, because they have a freaking agenda, dude. And that's exactly what they did to a T. I knew it was going to happen. If you go back and watch our shows, listen to what I said now, and go listen to what they said over the last week. That's bullshit. If you quit believing everything you hear on the air over there, because I'm just telling you, I call that to a freaking T.
The air over there or the air up there?
I don't know what it is, Charlie. Y'all know I call this shit, dude. That's a fraud, dude. It's somebody who uses somebody, and then when he's done with them, he's done with them. But he's got everybody in CATlanta so convinced that he's the only resource, and like they believe everything he says. Like I said, I can't go to a barbershop and talk to nobody, because it's like hitting the replay button. And then you try to tell them this stuff. Oh, you're stupid, man. I've been in arguments where I've almost been in fights, and then it happens to a T. To a T.
That's because they got an agenda. Blitz the Bookie does not have any agendas, guys.
Until we make money.
We can't be bought.
We don't. We can't.
We will sell our ass.
We can't be bought. But we have no agendas, Anthony. At least, hopefully, things are on the up and up, and things change.
Happy.
Yeah, it's not. It sucks that they wouldn't do the things they needed to do for Stoops, who you're talking about, and the university putting the money behind them. But look, it's all that.
They work together. Work together.
Let's get Will Stein and this football team a little bit more money, and let's get this thing going on the right track. All we can do is move forward. Don't be so upset about that they didn't do it to Stoops. It does suck, but let's make sure they do it for Stein.
You know,
he's going to be in the same
we got
position.
a new basketball coach, new football coach. Now it's time for a new athletic director.
Yep.
I'm good with
it.
it.
We ain't going to be very long.
No, he's going to retire.
You know, I think he's starting to get exposed a little bit. And I think it's bothering him. They got him in some interviews where he's been rattled because they asked him. He's been rattled because he's trying to cover a lot of that bullshit up because he didn't want to be like he was the guy in the wrong on that stuff.
I think I'd say over 50%, maybe even over 60 or 70% of UK fans are about done with that little fatigue on the athletic director. So again, respect for Mitch Barnhart. I think for the most part, he's been a really good athletic director. He's made a lot of good hires, a lot of really great hires over the years. He hired Mark Stoops, which is a great hire. He hired Cal, the Brooks guy from the women's basketball team, Mingione,
the volleyball coach.
Yeah, the volleyball. Yeah, the volleyball
we put
coach.
more money into other sports and other programs.
Now there's been some bad hires with the Billy Gillespie and the Joker, and there's been 2 terrible contracts that everybody wants to talk about lately. But look, it's just like Cal. It's just like Mark Stoops. I respect what Barnhart's done. I just think his time's up. So
hit the road,
Jack.
Yeah.
All right, on to basketball, guys. We actually can feel good about ourselves a little bit now. We got to win against a team that was not ranked like 300th or something. Indiana, just to be fair, I don't think they're a very good team, but a lot better than the teams that we had been beating. The win was awesome, and we needed it. But for me, it was about seeing for the first time a team that actually looked like a team that actually looked like they liked each other. The energy, the effort, the body language, getting on the floor, playing good defense, getting rebounds, getting the loose balls. I thought something changed. Like something changed. I don't know if we can talk about this or whatever and give y'all's opinions. I don't know if we credit Pope for lighting a fire under Garrison's ass and maybe the rest of the team's ass to see this change that we saw. But that was not the same team that we've been watching with the effort and the energy. So yes, I'm glad we won, but I'm just glad that we look like an actual basketball team because it's been bad. Look, Pope threw the whole thing out there about the Louisville game and something was going on, and he did that, and it was his fault. I've said it was a mistake, but he did it. And the way we were playing, it looked like something was going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But this game looked like something changed. So that was my main takeaway from the game is that we hadn't seen that team play yet like that. So it was I'm happy about it. I don't think Indiana was very good, but super happy that something changed. Now we have 7 days off before another big game this weekend. Maybe Jayden Quaintance is coming back. We can talk about that too. But I love it. I think it came at a good time with a week off. Build some confidence and try to build on that. And we'll see what happens against St. John's. But Anthony, you were at the game.
Yeah.
So Josh, real quick before I get to Anthony, the way I saw the game, is that how you saw it on TV?
It was so
with
good.
The attitude, the effort and all that. Did you see the same thing
I saw? It translated through the TV. I seen more effort. I seen more guys just excited to cheer. I mean, there was more smiles. There was more, of course, we're winning, but I mean, it was a battle in the first half and even part of the second half. But the attitudes were better. The body language was better. Just overall looked like a team. I think Lowe, we're a totally different team with Lowe in the game.
Totally different.
And I'm not a huge Lowe fan. He can't shoot worth a crap.
Got to play though.
But he opens up the floor so much.
He got that big rapping layup. He does. He stretches out his body. It's kind of unique, really.
And it seems like for some reason when Aberdeen is in, it seems like everybody's so close together. But I don't know if that's
we don't move. We don't move.
But when
Lowe is in there,
because
everybody's moving.
Because Lowe can also penetrate really well.
It just seems the spacing is so much better when Lowe was in there.
I think you need one guy that can break a defense down.
Mm-hmm.
I on any basketball team, I know the game's changed, but I still think you need a guy that really can dribble, penetrate, and get to the basket and break his guy down. We were at the game. We had a good time. Me and my son went. We really got there early.
Did y'all see it the same way that we saw it on TV?
Yeah. So what me and my
energy and stuff.
Yeah, we did. What we talked about a lot was, we thought that they just stuck to, the right rotation. that you don't have to play 1 million people. This is what I think happened. I think Pope missed on a bunch of guys. Okay, we've heard the stories. Missed on a bunch of guys because I think he's trying to sell the name on the front player. But he can fix that. That's fixable. You just got to sell what they want to hear. But when he did that, I think he tried to do it numbers, 11, 12 guys. That's too many guys. Play your best 7, 8 guys, dude. And I think he did that. He was coaching hard. One thing I'm upset about, and I've heard people say, oh, how great the crowd was. This is my first game to Rupp in 2 or 3 years. I go to a lot of football games. My first game to Rupp in 2 or 3 years. If that's what a good crowd is, Ruff's in rough shape. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of fans sitting down in important times. I got my little group up there. We were up cheering, hooting, hollering. People, I could tell they were mad that I was standing up. I didn't give a shit. I'm up top too. We didn't have a good time. Yeah, it was full. It was full. But we were on the side up top, and we were up cheering. Everybody just sitting down during important moments. Now, at the end of the game, they got into it. But come on, Rupp, we're better than that. I go to UK football games at Kroger Field. If a good opponent's in town, especially a rival like that, dude, we're on our feet. We're rowdy. I'm not saying every single play, but we're a lot. Dude, they didn't want to stand up. They just didn't. I'm telling you.
It's always been like
that. It used to be the lower, and now I didn't feel like the upper was like that. We are a very entitled fan base. And I hate to say that. I'm one of us, guys. I'm one of us. But we are. They made a thing where like the top 10 toughest places to play, and Rupp didn't make it, and our fans were up in arms. It's the truth, guys. It's the truth. I think
when it's good, it's good. But any other day, it's just mediocre. It's just a lot of people.
I'm going to tell you what's wrong with Rupp and the atmosphere. They only cheer when stuff is going good. Say the other team's on like a 6-0, 7-0 run.
Dead.
And they've scored 3 baskets in a row or 4 baskets in a row. You would think, all right, this next time down the court, when we're on defense, crowd will get really – dude, when we're not looking good, people are sitting on their hands.
Dude, you can hear a pin drop.
As soon as we get one – we knock down 1-3, everybody's on their feet. As soon as one thing goes bad, everybody's sitting back down. That's the bad part, is that sometimes – you have to dig in as a fan base when it's not going good. We got to turn the shit back around. Sometimes they need to feed off of us. They can't just feed off of us when everything's going good. They don't fucking need us when stuff's going good.
Absolutely, Charlie.
When they're knocking shots down and getting rebounds, playing good defense, they can fucking play in silence. They need the crowd when they're struggling. Why? I think that's the main problem with Rupp.
It's become a social event.
Don't get loud until we do good.
We need to
become a social event. They're entitled. Listen, I love and I'm not saying every fan out there was like that, but going there, it almost just seems like a social event for everybody. I'm going to the game, dude. I get my football jersey on because I don't have a basketball jersey. My son gets his basketball jersey on. You know me when I go to the game, Charlie. I'm ready to freaking go in there and Rupp roar, son. This is a big game. We're going to be the freaking 6th man or the 12th man in football. It's time to go, baby. I'm not going to the game just to go to the game. I'm going there to be a part of the game. That's my mentality. And you just don't see that. People come in their little clothes and just sitting with their wife. And I'm not saying anything matter with that, but guys, Rupp Arena is something to be proud of. It's something that's been built on tradition. You got to bring it. I think that's one of the reasons they ran off Cal. Oh, we got to win. There's other people trying to win too. So you got to keep the energy. You got to keep the effort. It's not always just going to fall on our laps. Sometimes you got to work for it. Everybody said how great the crowd was. And look, they did get into it at the end, and there was times. But like all in all, I was really disappointed.
The crowd didn't translate to the TV, and normally a good crowd does at Rupp Arena. They
got going at the end.
Yeah,
they got going every time we made something happen.
Charlie's right. Charlie's right.
It's weird how they do that.
And I'll bring this up. If it's going to be a social event, you know what we got to add to Rupp Arena?
What's that?
A party deck. Party deck.
Fucking party deck.
We need a party deck.
We don't need that. We need to turn that around, dude. Like everybody goes there and I feel like everybody's trying to dress nice and stuff. It's a freaking basketball or football game. Throw your jersey on.
There is. I'm in the ice cream line, and the guy in front of me has khaki pants on, tucked in collared shirt, and some dress shoes. And I'm thinking, dude, who dresses like that to go to a basketball
I'm ready to
game.
sweat with the players, dude. I'm ready to do
Have
it.
you ever, maybe a polo shirt, but do you wear a collared shirt to a freaking basketball game with your shirt tucked into your khakis and your nice loafers on?
Josh, come to a game with us one day, so you'll have a blast.
Dude,
I'm ready to go to war with them motherfuckers.
I go to two,
dude.
three a
I'm
year.
ready to go to war with them when I go in there. I'm ready to go like heckle the players coming at the guy. I'm trying to give Kentucky any edge we can get.
Speaking of some players in that Indiana game, Mark Pope dug into Brandon Garrison's ass the game before, benched him. He didn't play for the first, 8 minutes or so of that game. I'm sure people were wondering if Brandon Garrison was even going to get in. And then he puts him in, and he looked like a completely different player. He was right off the bat, hustled for rebounds, got him a couple buckets, played really good. And I think I mentioned last week, I hoped that wasn't like a show that Pope put on because the fans had been talking about his demeanor on the sideline. I don't think it was, because if you paid attention, there were 3 players that got benched in that Indiana game. Jasper Johnson got in for 3 minutes, and he yanked him and never put him back in the game. I'd have to go back and look at his 3 minutes. I'm not sure. Somebody said he missed like a terrible layup. I can't even.
Yeah, he had a bad layup.
That.
He had a bad layup and a quick 3.
So I'd have to kind of examine what he did in that 3 minutes, but he didn't. He never got back in the game. And then Noah and Chandler both started the game. Noah came out, and I don't know if he came back in the first half. Chandler played a little bit in the first half, but then in the second half, he put the starters back in, Noah and Chandler, for about 3 or 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. And when they pulled him out, neither one of them went back in the game. And I think that was a sign. Chandler, as much as I like Chandler, I've talked him up on this show plenty of times. He could not guard in that game, and that's not a good sign because Indiana is weak. I don't know how he couldn't guard them guys, but he was getting beat, him and Noah both, and Pope benched all 3 of them. So maybe this is a new thing that Pope's going to do, and I know he talked about it. If you're not performing, sit your ass on the bench, get to practice next practice, and work your way back into the lineup. I guess that's what Brandon Garrison did. It made a big difference. I'm hoping that this maybe lights a fire. What do y'all think about it? Is this a new Mark Pope?
He needed to shorten the rotation anyway, and I think he shortened the rotation, and then he stuck with what was working. I think
that's what you need to do.
A couple times this year, we're on like a little bit of a run, and it happened in the U of L game, and it may happen in the Michigan State game as well. But, after a timeout, we come out of the timeout, and he's thrown in 3 or 4 new players, and we was on a 6-0 run, or we're playing well, and now you got a whole new rotation, whole new group of guys that hadn't been playing together yet this game, and we've used so many different combinations of guys. He's got to shorten that lineup, shorten that rotation, and stick with what's working each game. Like next game, maybe Saturday, maybe Colin and Noah's game, and it's not Owais and Aberdeen's. Hopefully he just continues to maybe it's not benching, just stick with what's working. Like, hey man, tonight's not your night. Let's move on.
I like that. I like that. Benching might be a little harsh, and I like that even better. Like, you're not playing good, just sit down. It's not getting benched. Just, hey, we're doing what's best for the team right now.
And they seem like they were. I mean, Chandler at the end of the game, he was up waving a towel. Same with Jasper
I don't even think some of them want to play anyway. Sometimes they just want to be injured. I'm serious. They want to save that body. I'm serious. I'm going to tell you, it reminds me of like a poor man version of Cal's platoon system, where Cal had a bunch of stars. This is like a poor man's version
like homeless.
Yeah, he has narrowed it down though. He's been narrowing it down.
Look, I said it from the get go.
Yeah, Yelovich didn't.
He got 0 minutes.
Play.
He shouldn't. It sucks because you paid those guys probably way too much money, but whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like I called this beginning of the year. You cannot be quiet like that and get the best out of kids. Like, you just can't. And he made a comment I didn't like, Pope. He made a comment I'd read somewhere, I heard somewhere. He said, I just don't think you can holler at today's kids like that. Well, buddy, you're going to have to find a happy medium because they are running over you. I get it. You made some bad purchases in and out. I'm over that part. But you better learn to discipline those kids a little bit, find a way, because I think Pope came in as too nice of a guy. And the way you treat people out in BYU, And that level of player is not the same way you're going to treat that level of kid at Kentucky. A lot of those kids were Mormons, came from very disciplined backgrounds. Maybe they took to that kind of coaching. Well, you're in the big time now, big dog. And some of these kids, they got big egos. It's a me, me, me world. And some of them come from rough backgrounds. And you're just going to flat out get in their ass and tell them like it is. Look, I'm still bought in with Pope. I really am, but I hope he makes the changes, and I hope they're not fake. I told you from the very get-go, I hate that he was kissing the fans' ass so much. Be a freaking tough guy. You're the leader. You're the coach. You're the alpha. Be a tough guy. Take leadership. This is my team. I run it my way. Pitino did it that way. Cal did it that way. That's how you run a damn team. The fans don't run your team. Don't worry about if you're eating ice cream with them, Pope. That's that social bullshit, dude. You coach. If you win, they'll love you. If you lose, they'll hate you. Trust me on that. That's what I know about Kentucky fans.
Well, we cannot end this show without mentioning. Well, we got to talk St. John's for a second, anyways. But Diabate.
Played
It was,
all-
yes,
it
yes.
was his birthday on Saturday. The kid played. To me, I do have his shooting. He was 4 for 7, so he missed 3. He did miss 3 shots, but I don't care. The kid played a perfect game.
He was hustling his ass off, rebounding.
I mean, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals. He had 5 steals.
He was all over the place. He
Yeah.
was on that birthday juice, son.
Love it for that kid. It was his first game back, right?
Yeah,
First game back from missing 3 or 4 games. And, dude, he looked awesome. Brandon Garrison, the stats weren't huge, but 6 points, 5
Just the
rebounds,
energy.
2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Love what I got at what saw out of him. And, my eye test at the end of the game, I thought, Marino didn't really do anything. Maybe he kind of played bad. Well, my eye test was wrong because, yeah, he played 21 minutes and he only had 3 points and he only had 2 rebounds. Not great for the biggest guy on the court, but 3 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. That's a pretty good, I would like to see Marino get 5 or 6 rebounds and maybe a couple more buckets, but 3 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, that's pretty damn good. You can't ask for much more from your big guys. And the rumor is Quaintance's days, I think Pope came out again yesterday and said days or a week. He said, we're not talking weeks, day or week. So the rumblings are that he's going to play this weekend. I have, after kind of thinking about it, this is my opinion. And look, Mark Pope knows the situation way better than me. I'm not pretending to be smarter than Pope or know the situation or how ready Quaintance is better than them. But if it was me, you're looking at a big time game against a really good, talented St. John's team. And then after the new year, first game is at Alabama. We do have a game in between that against Bellarmine. To me, it makes sense to let him play in the Bellarmine game, give him a warm-up. After the Bellarmine game, we got like 11 days off until we go to Alabama. To me, that's a perfect scenario. Look, if he's ready to go this Saturday and he's ready to rock and roll, I love to see him step on the court against St. John's. But to me, why don't we put him in against Bellarmine? I mean, wouldn't that be a better warm-up test for him?
Probably, and I like that idea. But I think the only way he plays him is if he has to this week.
We paid his ass, played him. Shit, man. We already paid for him.
I think if it gets ugly, maybe he wants to spark the crowd because it's in Atlanta. It's in CATlanta.
Yeah.
And if something goofy happens around the 12-minute mark at timeout, maybe they go on a little 6-0 run. It's 20-12. And he feels like he needs a little spark. Maybe he plugs him in for a couple minutes just for some energy from the crowd. I mean, I'm throwing darts there, but I like that angle too. Let him come in, play 15 minutes against Bellarmine, then we start SEC play.
Get 11 days off after that big, break between Christmas and New Year's. I'm sure they do a lot of practicing in that time. It ain't no Christmas break for them. That's usually when Cal did his little Camp Cal thing, isn't it?
Yep.
So it should be a lot of practicing in those 11 days. So that would be my angle. But look, if he's ready to go this Saturday, let's throw his ass out there and let's rock and roll, baby, because the kid is a game changer. I promise you, especially on the defensive end. And with the way our bigs played this last game, we might be all right on down low,
dude.
Especially with Quaintance.
We need him to be good. We need him.
Oh,
to
he's
be
good. Dude. There's no question is he good or not.
We need him to be good. Look, Ricky P. Time to play Ricky P. Let's kick his ass, dude.
Mm-hmm. Let's
You
go.
know, just kick his ass, dude. I don't like the dude. He's slime. He's scum. He's got that's that propaganda bullshit that he's done got half the Kentucky fans convinced he's a god again.
Mm-hmm.
But let's kick his ass, send him back up to New York. Got a couple angles on this. First thing, one of the St. John's biggest donor, Ricky P's friend, plays slime ball, is Mike Rapoli, big horse racing owner. He's won everything in horse racing, you know.
You see his horses in the program, bet it.
But guess what? Don't bet him when he's up against Kentucky, baby, because every time he comes to Kentucky Derby, he gets his ass whooped, his horses get scratched, and he's had some of the best. He's had some of the best. So I love that angle. And everybody always wants to say how Nashville is, you know, Kentucky land. Yeah, but we've had up and down record there. Kentucky don't get beaten Atlanta. Kentucky does not get beaten in Atlanta.
Yes.
I love that it's went to Nashville because it's closer. I like the bar scene. But I'm going to tell you, when Kentucky went to Atlanta, I would like to see our record because we fucking win in Atlanta. That's just bottom line. CATlanta, we're winning this weekend, baby.
Well, what's your final score? Let's
1,000,000-3.
I love it. We're going to win by 997,000, 999,997 points. I love it.
What
I love
you
it.
got?
Man, I think just a quick little breakdown, just some quick stats. This is a big game for St. John's. They need to win.
They've got 3 losses.
They got 3 losses. They lost to Auburn, Alabama, and Iowa State. You know what Iowa State's ranked right now? 4. So just for all the Iowa State fans out there.
State.
Name a player on that squad.
Nope.
James Harden? No, that was Arizona State.
Can't do it.
All right, but anyway, St. John's doesn't shoot well from 3.
Royce White.
Yeah.
They've had some good teams. Iowa State's had some good teams.
Royce White. Wasn't he the one that was scared to fly?
Yep. Mm-hmm. But St. John's only shoots 33% from 3. Kentucky shoots like 32.9. So I think whoever can hit the most threes in this game probably wins. It'll probably only be 6. But I think it comes down to if we can hit a few more shots than them on the outside, we can win. And it's like Anthony said, it's in CATlanta. Let's freaking roll.
And Sweet Lou ain't there this year. Remember Sweet Lou last year for St. John's? He ain't there this year.
And my final score, not nearly by 1,000,000, but I'll go 72-68.
St. John scores some points. I'm sitting here looking.
Yeah, they're averaging 88 points a game.
Yeah, they score some points, guys. They had a game against Ole Miss where they won, only scored 63, but they're scoring. And last game they scored 79, which is kind of low, but 79, 91, 85, 96, 83, 97, 93, 96, 108. That's their totals. They're going to put up some points, dude. I hope they do shoot bad. So seeing that, it looks like Kentucky's going to have to probably keep up a little bit. Give me in CATlanta, Cats 82, St. John's 80.
Nice.
82-80. Close game. Ricky P feels bad, and he lets Pope win. He calls a timeout when they don't have one, and we get 2 technical foul shots there at the end, and Pitino gives it to Pope at the end with a timeout that they don't have.
I love that.
Y'all think he's a better guy than what he is, boys. That's all I can say.
Or it could be the angle where he's like, you know what? Let me just pound Mark Pope into the ground and send him to his demise, towards his demise anyways, and I'll just swoop on in next year.
Dude, I would not put it past his dumbass.
So
I promise you.
It's going to be one of those two.
Dude,
he's either going to pound him into submission or he's going to hand him the game.
New York's finest, baby.
All right, guys. We love all you guys. Appreciate y'all checking out the right side of Kentucky sports. Make sure you check out the first half of the show. Search Blitz the Bookie and check out the first half of the show for all the college football and NFL rundowns for this weekend. College football playoff starts this weekend. The Cats and St. John's on Saturday. Dude, they play it. Oh, that's at noon.
Yeah, it's at noon.
That's at noon.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad, even though that's going up against the damn playoff game too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So dual TVs it is on Saturday.
Yep.
Guys, appreciate y'all. We'll catch you next week. Blitz the Bookie.
Go Big Blue.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Scassy's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drum.